We love Walt Disney, both the man and the company. Despite having Touchstone as a subsidiary to make more adult movies, Disney is widely known as a family-friendly company. That being said, there are a lot of dark and somewhat disturbing secrets that Disney hides. Let's begin our look at 10 disturbing Disney secrets. The Motion Picture Alliance for the Preservation of American Ideals. If you know your American history, you no doubt know about Senator Joseph McCarthy's Red Scare, a nationwide fear campaign intended to rile up American panic over communism. While we know that this led to many Americans losing their jobs and having their reputations destroyed for allegedly being communist, what you may not know is Disney had a role in it. Walt Disney helped found the Motion Picture Alliance for the Preservation of American Ideals, an organization that turned in suspected communists into the government. Needless to say, the Walt Disney Company would rather you didn't know about that, especially considering the number of innocent people accused for mere thought crimes. Walt Disney's involvement with the Alliance has led to numerous allegations of anti-Semitism. However, despite the belief the Alliance was anti-Semitic, there is no actual proof on the subject. Naked ladies and the rescuers. This is not so much of a secret now, seeing as everyone knows about it, but it's still funny. For 2 frames in the Disney classic The Rescuers, a cute kids film that features 2 mice trying to rescue a child from a crazy lady and her crocodiles, we get to see some real-life naked boobs. While it was certainly hilarious, and we'd like to imagine that the bosses at Disney had a right old laugh, it certainly caused outcry among the parents that noticed it. While we at CBR understand the annoyance of the parents who had to see these boobs, we're more surprised that they managed to catch the 2 frames at all. That takes some real eagle eyes, and we hope that they put them to good use after their complaints were done. The real human skull in Disney World. Long before it was a movie, Pirates of the Caribbean was a ride at Disney theme parks. It's a spooky enough affair with tons of skeletons lying around its decoration, especially considering that at one time most of the skeletons were real. We're not kidding. When building the ride, the design team were disappointed with the look of the fake skeletons. They just weren't convinced enough, so they did what any team with that much money to spare did and rang up the UCLA Medical Center and asked them for real ones. Over time, as technology progressed, they gradually replaced the real skeletons with props and put the old skeletons to rest in their home countries. Despite this, there is one skeleton that is still real, and here it is, right on the headboard of the bed. Emotional manipulation at Disneyland. This one is actually kind of genius. Disney do their very best to influence the way you feel at the park. They do this by tricking your brain to increase both your immersion and your mood. For a start, they lie about the waiting times, so when you get on the ride early, you feel good about it. Not only that, but they have a contraption called the Smellitzer, which pumps aromas based on the theme of the area into the park. For example, seawater smells are found around Pirates of the Caribbean, and the odor of old wood is pumped all over Frontierland. This helps you feel more like you're on an adventure, and when it's combined with the underground catacombs that the park's actors walk through to get to their designated spots without being seen, is all done to make an immersive experience. Dilfs of Disneyland. Imagine this, you're a father, you had a great time at Disneyland as a kid and you decide to take your child who is now old enough to appreciate the wonder of Disneyland. You pack your bags, book the Disney hotel, and take your family to the magic kingdom that Uncle Walt built. You're now in Disneyland, you have a great time and you decide to search for Disneyland on Instagram. Next thing you find is a picture of yourself with your child with the caption, #Dilfs of Disneyland. Now that's a little creepy. It also happens quite a lot with people photographing men with their children without their knowledge before posting it on the internet. It's nice to be considered a DILF, don't get me wrong, but I prefer it if I knew I was being photographed. Disneyland Paris's management. Disneyland Paris isn't exactly the best of the Disney theme parks. While it's the largest on its own, it pales in comparison to Disney World and likes to charge Brits and Germans more than its native French tourists. It's also had a few worker suicides happen on its watch. There was one chef who killed himself after he was supposed to come back to work after a long sick leave. According to his father-in-law, he scratched the words, "I don't want to work for Mickey anymore," in French into the wall of his house.
You can count on me, mon capitaine.
Unions say that ever since the younger management took over Euro Disney, middle management has been removed, pay has been bad, and we've seen more on-the-job accidents than ever before. Most recently, in 2016, an employee was found dead in the haunted house. It seems if you want to work for Disney, you'd best avoid a job in France. The Small World. The Small World ride is creepy already. There are dozens of overly happy-looking child puppets singing probably the catchiest song in existence. And it never ends. While we like the core ideas that the ride is putting out there of togetherness, diversity, and equality, that doesn't mean that this little culture mash is any less creepy. Some of the puppets are cute, but a lot of them are just dead behind the eyes and weird. It gets a little creepier though when you see this picture of one puppet just hanging from the ceiling. This sparked numerous rumors of it being a child's dead body and a ghost among other things. While it's clear it's just a puppet, that doesn't make it any less creepy. What is it doing up there? Can't they put it in storage? Unfortunate mothers. You may have noticed that there are very few mothers in Disney films, at least not when Walt was alive. Bambi's mother is the most notable example, but many Disney characters have witnessed their mother's deaths. This is because Walt Disney's mother died of carbon monoxide poisoning in a house that Walt bought for her. Racked with guilt, Walt Disney is believed to have been working out his own emotions towards his mother's death through his films. It's not the only time something like this has happened. Steven Spielberg's lack of a father figure growing up had a huge influence in his works, such as E.T. and Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Unfortunately, no matter what magic they can bring to the screen, filmmakers are often tragic people who have to use their work in order to get by. The Disney monorail has killed. If you have been to Disneyland Park, there's a good chance you took the Disneyland monorail to get there. Unfortunately, in 1966, a 19-year-old man by the name of Thomas Guy Cleveland was killed while trying to sneak into the park. As it turns out, a monorail traveling at high speeds is quite high in the list of things you don't want to get hit by. But sadly, it happened. Worst of all, the man wasn't killed on impact. Instead, he got trapped under and dragged along 30 feet of track before the monorail stopped. Not only that, the poor security guard had to get Mr. Cleveland off the rails via a hose, which is probably the worst day at work a guy could ever have. Child abusers at Disney World. Disney World has about 70,000 people on payroll, and as a result, there have been more than a few bad eggs employed by Disney. Since 2006, there have been dozens of sex offenders caught in police stings, including 35 from Disney, but not just Disney, but Universal Studios and SeaWorld. Despite the numerous Florida parks hiring these people, it should be known that the parks themselves are making efforts to crack down on the scandals, presumably with more stringent background checks? While it would be easy to place the blame on the Disney company, Ernie Allen, president of ICMEC, has stated that it's hard to imagine any company that has done more, that cares more, that's trying harder on these issues. And part of the reason is Disney recognizes that it is a magnet. It's a magnet that's sort of America's symbol for children. Though we're poking fun at them today, we love Disney. But is there anything that we left out? Leave a comment and let us know. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and check out the rest of our channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to CBR for cool vids about movies, action heroes, gaming, comics, and more.